So, interplanetary travel is just decades old. It is a very, very, very new thing. And telescopes are, they're not new, but the ones that can see far off into space, light years away, are new. So, even when we look light years away, we see things from years ago. Like we look at a planet, we'll see it, if it's 10 light years away, we'll see it from 10 years ago. So it's very hard to find other species in the universe, especially since our telescopes don't go very far. There isn't any intergalaxy travel, barely interplanetary travel, and we can't travel at the speed of light at all, not even close. Sound, we've broken the speed of sound. We can go very, very fast, nowhere near light speed. It's not like, oh, once we achieve light speed, we'll be able to go wherever we want, just go warp speed and just teleport to Klingon or whatever. That's not how it works. It's like you have to, even if you can travel at light speed, it'll take you years to get to another galaxy. Literal years. It takes months to just get to the moon. The reason why is because we have to actually line it up perfectly, where the moon has to complete its orbit. We have to be in line perfectly with the moon to where we can launch the rocket and go on a trajectory to catch it like this. This is the moon. This is us. We launch right here, but we have to go this way, follow its trajectory, and then land on it. Because if we just go straight up, we're going to miss it. Because it's always orbiting. So that's why it takes so long to actually get, spaceships up into space, onto the moon. There is a very, very, very specific time frame in which you can do this. And imagine having to aim at somewhere light years away where you don't even know if that it's in the same place as it was before, because you're looking at it from years ago. If it's 60 million light years away, you're looking at it 60 million years ago. And if we could travel faster than light, we'd still probably get there after thousands of years. It's crazy to think how small we are in the grand scheme of the universe. It's scary to think about. And people are just going about their everyday lives. But there is a huge, wider universe beyond what we can even imagine. And it is so large. So unimaginably large. It's just crazy. And you think of the Earth as this huge, huge place. It would take forever to, fly to the other side of the Earth. Or not forever. It would take like a day or whatever. But on a plane. When you're in a spaceship and you're trying to go somewhere far away, you gotta understand that space is so huge. Like, hundreds of thousands of miles to the moon. Millions, trillions of miles going to the edge of the universe. Probably even more than that, going to the edge of the universe. It's like, it's so large. And that's just something that I can barely comprehend, is how large the universe is. We would look like germs. If we were just sent off into space, we are smaller than an asteroid. We could live on an asteroid. I mean, it's not the size of Earth, but we could have we could have a colony of people living on a decently sized asteroid. It's like we are just germs in the huge universal body, I guess we could call it. And the only reason we don't know if other species exist is because of how many light years away they are, if they've figured out interdimensional communication, interplanetary travel. We don't know if they're a new species, if they've been around a while but still can't figure out interdimensional communication. It's still like, and humans themselves are a very new species in terms of like planetary and universal time, because the millions of years we've been around is like seconds to the universe. It's like everything is happening, and we're just, we're being cultivated. It seems like this crazy thing that humans are making all these advancements in technology. Oh my god, guys, I got the new 5G iPhone. The universe is moving at a billion paces a minute. Planets, it's expanding. Planets are being made, life is being birthed. Planets are orbiting. Stars are dying, exploding, supernovas. It's just a lot of stuff is happening while we're here doing our own thing. It's crazy to think about. And that's just what I think about every day. Especially at night when I'm falling asleep. It's just I think about that. What does the edge of the universe look like as it's expanding? What does it look like beyond the universe? Is there no light? Is there nothing? Because that's another thing. Can light actually go past the universe? Light's not faster than the expanding universe, I'd imagine. So would you be able to see anything at all past the universe? It's a very interesting concept, and one that I just struggle with thinking about all the time. But yeah, the universe is a very crazy place. And it's like Earth is also very interesting. So there are trillions of planets in the universe, and there's bound to be at least a billion of them, at the very, very, very least, that have intelligent life. Humans are not special in the grand scheme of things. We are small in the grand scheme of things. We are not unique. The conditions for life on Earth came about, naturally, by luck, whatever. But there are trillions of other chances for that to happen. And if it's 1 to a trillion, obviously the trillion is going to win out over the 1. So it doesn't make sense for these odds that there isn't other life in the universe, intelligent life. And even if, I'm not going to believe that there isn't intelligent life, but even if there isn't, there is life, at least, in the universe. Not all planets are cold and dead. We've actually identified already another Goldilocks planet, which is, the term for hospitable planets. So we've already found one with a telescope, and those can only reach so far. If we found one with a telescope that can't reach very far, how many more are there beyond our sight? How many more are there that we can't see because of how many light years away it is? Because we're seeing 60 million years before it actually came into being. It's a very interesting concept that some people can still deny that aliens exist. Aliens in movies are portrayed as these interplanetary travelers, these people who can travel faster than light, that just, take over planets and colonize the entire universe. That's not how it works. Aliens are, the word alien just means something that is unknown, not understood, like something foreign. So aliens in movies are portrayed as these mystical beings that, are they're hyper intelligent, they can travel across galaxies, and that's just not how it works. The reason why aliens haven't come to our planet is either because they're not interested, or because they can't even see that there's life on this planet. Because even if they had telescopes that could reach that far, they're seeing, years in the past. Maybe even millions of years in the past, depending on how far away they are. It's not like they can just snap their fingers and teleport to Earth. That's just not how it works. And I hear some people saying, how they would just be here already, they'd be taking over the world and all this stuff. That's just, it doesn't make sense that aliens would just be here, teleported to where we are. That's just not how travel works. That's just not how space works. That's just not how interplanetary travel works. It takes a long time to move from just planet to planet, and you have to wait for the orbit. You have to wait for this very, very small window where you can actually launch a rocket or a spaceship or whatever into space. And it would take a huge machine. It would take, I don't even know if it's possible to build something that could go light speed. And even if it could, it would take years, literal years, to travel outside of our galaxy to other galaxies. Years. People would have to be living from generation to generation on a spaceship for like 5 generations before we could get to another galaxy and go to, a different planet and hop from planet to planet, all that stuff. So the aliens would be having all these resources, all these people flying years and years and years. They won't know if the mission is successful in their lifetime. They'd be dead before the mission ended. And so would the people who first got in the rocket. Once they finally got here, what's here? Like, why are they interested? Why wouldn't they might, try and communicate with us. They wouldn't fly people all the way out here just to say, hello, we're aliens. Like, that's just doesn't make any sense. We wouldn't do the same either. If we had the choice to travel at light speed for years to just go and meet aliens, would you take that deal? I don't think you would, because you'd be living on a spaceship for the entirety of your lifetime, and then your kids will have to live on that spaceship for the entirety of their lifetime, and then their kids, and so on and so forth until you reach the destination. And let's say you reach the destination when that final generation are like teenagers. The generation before, they're getting a lot older. So they finally get to this planet. They talk to these aliens, whatever. But, it's not really that plausible that we'd send people out, generations down the line would go on, and then we'd finally get there just to, say hi to aliens and just to check them out. And you wouldn't even know the results until you were dead. You wouldn't even know the results at all. You see stars in the night sky, like if there's no lights at all, and you see just thousands and thousands and thousands of stars. They're all so far apart from each other. They are thousands of miles away from each other. That's why when people in movies go warp speed, they don't hit stars, because they're just so far apart. It's a very, very low possibility of hitting a star when you're in a spaceship, because they're just so spread apart. There's so much space in between them. They're not clumped up unless it's like, Saturn's ring or an orbit like that, or an asteroid belt or something like that. But other than that, stars just... You don't hit stars. They're so far apart. Because the universe is just so large. But yeah, that's why I kind of went on a very, very long rant there. But long story short, intelligent life in the universe does exist. It's almost impossible that it doesn't.
Other than humans, yeah.
Other than humans, yeah. It's like, if intelligent life in the universe doesn't exist, like, my entire reality would be called into question. Science itself would be called into question. Because, it would recontextualize what we know about the universe itself. What if the universe isn't as large as we think it is? What if everything we've been led to believe is just an illusion? Because in this humongous, large space where we are infinitesimally small, how is there not another species that is intelligent? It just doesn't make any sense. So
you're putting your scientific career on the line
to say that intelligent life does exist in the universe somewhere. It's almost a guarantee.
Other than on Earth.
It's almost a guarantee.
All right.
I'm going to bed now.
Did you get everything off your chest, honey?
Yeah, my throat is really dry.
Thanks for sharing.
I swallowed hot tub water earlier and my throat got super dry.
It's so funny. You're like
talking all this intellectual stuff, you're like, I swallowed hot tub water.